Hello, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here because it's Temple of Balance's 15th birthday. Yay! Puss has come to say hello too. This is Puss. And before I start, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support, whether it's support you can give or are giving now, or a year ago, years ago. All of your support that you've offered and exchanged for what I provide or the things that I create over these last 15 years have helped Temple of Balance still be here. So I'm extremely grateful, and I realise that without your support I just wouldn't be here. I don't take sponsorships or what do you call it? Where you sponsor other people's things. I'm really fussy about what I share and what I allow through my work, and so your support is really, really appreciated and valuable and important to me, so thank you. So 15 years, I want to talk just a little bit about Temple of Balance and its starting, its journey. Then I've got my drum, I've got my smudge stick, and I'd like to just create a little bit of a space for us today. So first of all, I thought, okay, where was I at in my life when Temple of Balance was born? So it was born on the 25th of February 2005. My children were pretty much just, I think my youngest, my daughter, she was just about to start school, or was just starting school. Actually she was starting school part-time. So she was 4 and a half, something like that. And she was just going to school. My son, who was 18 months older than her, he had already started school, so he was full-time, and she was starting 1 day a week or something at kindergarten, so or 1.5 days or something a week. And I'm a hairdresser by trade, so I did my hairdressing apprenticeship. It's a 4-year apprenticeship here in Australia, and I did that from 95 till 99, which is when I had my son. So I fell pregnant at the end of my apprenticeship, and that was basically the end of my hairdressing side of things, which is fine, that's what I chose. So I had my children when they were young. I was lucky enough to spend time with them when they were growing up, when they were babies and things. And then when they started school, for me it was either go back to hairdressing or try and start something myself. And I didn't really think about or realise the scope of what I was stepping into with Temple of Balance. I mean, it started just by fluke, because I was setting up the internet, and the internet provider I was on the phone with asked me what I want my email address to be, and that was a big deal back in the early to mid 2000s, because everyone just picked their name for the most part, but I wanted it to be something a little bit more substantial, something that resonated with what I was interested in, which was spiritual things, and healing, and self-healing especially. So we were brainstorming on the phone, me and the internet service provider, this customer service guy on the phone, and we ended up coming up with Temple of Balance. And that's really what started it off, because then I started Temple of Balance on eBay, and then it just grew from there. So that was 15 years ago. So where I was at in my life when I started Temple of Balance was my children were starting, so my youngest going to school. I needed to, get into work, really. So, I still wanted to be there when my children started school, when they finished school, and I knew that was a real luxury. I knew not a lot of people had that privilege. So I thought if I could, try and get something built up in that year when my daughter was part-time, and maybe establish something a little bit become a bit busier as the year moved on and as I moved into the years, and that is what happened. So I really started it without really much of a plan, except that I just wanted to see if it would work. So my sister, one of my sisters, I've got three of them, one of my sisters, she was selling some, her mother-in-law had a second-hand bookshop, and she was selling some of her books through eBay, and having quite a lot of success. And I thought, okay, I'll try something. And so I listed $5 healings, some small spirit guide drawings, I think some readings as well, just a few little bits and pieces just to see what would happen. I didn't have a client base online. I had done a lot of readings at expos and from my friend's second-hand bookshop, which was my sister's mother-in-law. And so I had experience, and I had been self-healing for about 5 years at this point. So I was very much into healing, helping myself, and I found it really beneficial. So I was interested in seeing how or if what I was learning and what was working for me could also help other people. So I think it was my desire to help people, my awareness that self-healing was really helpful, and trying to fill that void as my children were going to school, because I really didn't want to get back into hairdressing. So my spirituality was extremely important back then, and I also had a lot of memories of Atlantis, past lives in Atlantis, and me being a healing priestess in my healing temple in Atlantis. And I kept hearing, my intuition kept telling me that I would soon be in my temple again. And I thought it was a healing center, because a lot of people were doing that back in the day. So I thought, oh yeah, I'll build my healing center. I think that was a dream a lot of us had as healers back in the 2000s. But I soon realized, actually it was a few years later, I realized that it actually wasn't a physical place. My Temple of Balance had to be modern. It had to fit in with the modern life and the modern ways, and a big part of that was not having a bricks and mortar, a brick and mortar place. But I really wanted to help people find their balance and follow their passions in their everyday life. And that's not something you can find if you're going to a weekly meditation class, or if you come away for a retreat every now and then. So even though these things can be beneficial, I think the nuts and bolts, the real foundational place where real help can be made is when we start implementing it in our daily life and our daily grind, our daily experiences. And this was something social media especially allowed me to do. It allowed me to come to you with my thoughts, my energy, my creations, my message, my what I wanted to share to you in your everyday surroundings, your everyday environment. And I feel that is really powerful. So as much as I would love to have a brick and mortar store or centre or temple or what have you, I really prefer it being this way. It also gives me time to work things out that I'm going through, which then always helps build Temple of Balance. So Temple of Balance is, to me, a way of life. And it's a way of life that's evolved since before that very first moment when I first started Temple of Balance 15 years ago. It was brewing long before then. It brewed, in fact, lifetimes before, back in Atlantis days. So I carried that seed of Temple of Balance within me for many lifetimes, and I knew on some level that one day it would be birthed again. One day the world would be ready for it once again. And that time is obviously now. I mean, we're here now 15 years on, and I trust that we have many more years to come. So Temple of Balance evolves with me. It's not like back in 2014 when I created the Pillar of Light, our family, our membership. I saw that Temple of Balance is a nest that I create, that I do my best to create a safe space. I share my thoughts, my creations, and it's all very much about my viewpoint, my perspective, my curiosity, and my inspirations of my daily life. And it's a nest that I create with as much love and compassion and support and care that I can offer. I also understand that everyone's in their own place and space. You know, they view things from their own perspective and perceptions. So how some others view my Temple of Balance in certain ways that I don't see that as being true. You know, I've had quite a few things, I guess, accusations, attacks over the years. And, you know, through those things, I've had to develop a really thick skin, but also really stand tall in my truth. I have to stand so strong in my truth because it is my protective shield, if you like. Because when people may project their own issues and tell me how Temple of Balance is, and I know in my heart, actually that's after reflection, I can sit and go, you know, that's not what Temple of Balance is. But I understand that we all see things differently. So it's not going to resonate with everybody, and I understand that. But I create this nest as honestly, openly, with a genuine willingness to help as much as I can from that perspective, and doing my stuff, doing my work, doing the things that inspire me. I can't be people-pleasing. I can't be doing what the majority want or what the vocal minority are telling me that they want. I have to do what's right in my heart, and that's what creates my nest. So what I see is that I'm sort of creating this nest as I walk along in my journey, this Temple of Balance nest. And you are welcome to come and spend time in the nest, learn from the nest, grow in the nest, whatever it is you need from it. You're welcome to be here for as long or as short as you like. It's not up to me to hold you or pin you down. Jeepers, I could never do that, to pin you down or hold you down in my nest. This is a space that I would trust that you will feel safe to fly from and leave as you need to. And I've seen actually lately, it's quite interesting, the last 6 months, I've seen a lot of really old of my customers and people that have been following my work in the very early days, and then they had a bit of a hiatus. I've seen a lot of people come back and reconnect. I don't know, they may have found it again or thought or looked it up. I don't know how they found it, but I've had quite a few of these earlier on people coming back into the nest again. So I'm never going to pin you here. And you know, whether you feel like you're pinned here or not, that's going to be your perspective or perception. But from my perspective, I create this space. I do what I do from my heart as best as I can. And I trust that if you need to be here, then you will. And I trust that if you no longer resonate, if you just don't resonate with what's coming out of my mouth or what I'm sharing or what I'm creating, I don't take that personally. I just trust that then you will leave the nest. You will fly into the next phase of your life. And I trust that in some way, in some maybe small way, that Temple of Balance has been something that's been important for whatever phase you've been in your life. That it has helped enrich you maybe and help you think of things in new ways, maybe helped you heal or feel support, or whatever it is that you take from this space, from this nest that's created. So my vision for Temple of Balance and the future of it is to just keep tending to the nest, to keep tending to it, to keep adapting, changing, growing, bringing things in. You know, my change in videos is a big example of that. Live streaming worked for a few years, then it didn't. And it wasn't very a good thing to do, just through the means that it was coming to you. So Facebook lowering the quality, the streams dropping. There was just things that were just not working for me. So I had to change, I had to evolve. Some people would have left because they didn't like the changes. Some people, a lot of you actually softened your resistance to that, and I'm very grateful for it, and see the benefit now in these better quality little videos that I'm bringing out. And it may also bring new people in. So, I've got to let the nest evolve. I can't let it get dusty and grimy and mouldy. I've got to pick the mouldy bits out. I've got to always stay aware of what is working, but also what isn't working. What can be improved? How can I improve myself too? Because I am, I guess, the centre focus around the Temple of Balance in regards to what I'm creating, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, what I'm saying, what I'm not saying, is very much a key part of Temple of Balance. So I've also got to make sure things feel right for me. So I'm not afraid to change. Sometimes the consequences of change can be a little scary, like the backlash, if you like. But I keep developing a thicker skin over these years to be able to, stand strong in my truth and go, no, look, this is going to be okay. So, it's interesting to me. I just love, this is who I am. Temple of Balance is who I am. It's my way of life. So, what does Temple of Balance mean to you? How have you changed or benefited or improved from your time connecting with Temple of Balance? And what are the things, because there's a lot of things that I do that make up the nest, if you like. What are the things? Is there one thing that you respond better to than others? Like maybe you respond to my writings, maybe you respond to my videos, maybe you respond to my creativity or my poetry. Is there one or two or a few things that really stand out as really speaking to you? I really love to hear your thoughts, what stands out, what your journey has been like, how this has maybe enriched or hopefully enriched your experience. So, Temple of Balance, my vision for Temple of Balance is to just continue to let it evolve on a day-to-day basis. I no longer have big dreams, pie in the sky ideas or visions for what I would like to do with Temple of Balance. I used to want to travel. I wanted to build temples around the world. I had big, big dreams, and I no longer have those now. I think for me, it's now just to continue to check in, make sure it's flowing well, make changes, adjustments, improvements, bring new things in as inspired and as I'm curious, and just let it continue to grow. And I really, I guess, check in with Temple of Balance and how it's progressing on a month-to-month basis, because I do have to have support to keep Temple of Balance open. I'm not going to eat into my savings or be out of pocket for what I do. I really feel what I'm doing from my perspective and to keep it going has to be supported from your end, if you like. So on a month-to-month, Corey and I are always check in, make sure we've reached minimum, reflecting on things we might be able to change or adjust or improve in regards to getting the support, the financial support, the exchange in for what's been offered. So I offer a lot for free, but there are things that I do require exchange with because I'm trying to make a living here. I've got my family to support, I've got a roof to keep over my head, plus I've got things that I like creating, like my cards and things I like doing with Temple of Balance that also require funding so they can get printed. Things like this. And we don't have an expensive lifestyle. We do live very simply and very basically, so there's not a lot of expenses that need to be covered, but that is a requirement for me, just month to month. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now, 15 years on. So I see it now, it's a 15-year-old teenager, and I'm really happy with where Temple of Balance is in this moment. So I'm going to do some smudging, I'm going to do some drumming. Before I do, if you're watching this video on the day, then thank you. If you're watching it in the days to come, I do want to let you know, if you haven't seen it yet, I am doing a giveaway. I don't do these very often, but I'm offering this package giveaway, which features, this is my very first book, came out in 2011, and my second book came out, actually that might have come out in 2012, and I wrote it in 2011. I have to check the thing. See, I get so focused on what I'm doing presently, I forget. No, it is 2011. This came out in 2011, which means this one must have too, because this one sped into, yeah, this one came out in August. I wrote that in 3 months. It just sped into manifesting. So I've got that in the package. We've got my third book here, I Am Shaman, which came out in 2012. I did a lot of writing over those years. So we've got that. And my From Lack to Abundance book, which came out in 2012. So all these 4 books came out within about a year of each other. Within about a year. So these 4 books plus a deck of healing energy cards are in a giveaway right now. So my healing energy cards, these came out in 2008. And these are definitely our most popular deck. They're on the 3rd print run, and they're amazing tools to help support our healing journey. So they were birthed really from my eBay days, when I saw that a lot of people needed help, and there's only so much help I could offer, as far as services. So I wanted to create something, which happened to be this, through my art, my healing art. I wanted to create a tool where people could really help themselves. And I think and feel that this is evident, my objective, to help people help themselves, comes out through the cards. So these aren't made for the market. They're not made to sell. They're not made to sit on bookshelves and to be sold as a bestseller. These are organic creations that have been self-published and made to help, with the intention of helping you help yourself. So I have these as a giveaway right now on my Facebook page, Temple of Balance on Facebook. Please have a look at the page and have a look down for this offering. It will be open for a week, so there'll be the day when it closes, and your requirements, which is really easy, to go into the draw to win this. It's valued at over $110 Australian, just those things, plus shipping, which can be up to probably $40 if it's going to the US or outside Australia. So it doesn't matter where you live in the world, everyone will have a fair entry into winning this. So I will do another video in a week's time announcing the winner. So have a look on my page. It's on there now, unless you're watching this after early March. I'm not sure when it finishes yet. I've got to check my dates, but it'll be the 2nd or the 3rd. But it will say in the post. So please have a look if you want to. So that's as my way of thanking you for your support and to celebrate our birthday. So I have some sage here. This is mountain sage that was sent to me by Jeannie from the US, and I bundled it up, and it smells beautiful. So I'm going to light this for you now. We're going to do some smudging. So smudging is just to help clear negativity, clear our energy. So if you're open to it, please take a nice big breath. Take a few nice big breaths and think about letting go of your stresses, the pressure that you're under, the worries that you're consumed by, the things that are taking over your life that aren't perhaps very positive or are a bit unhealthy or unsupportive. So take a nice big breath and think about breathing out and letting those things go. So take 3 big deep breaths as you breathe in the new and breathe out the old, and let it go. Let it go. And we ask this sacred smoke to wash over us and carry away all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks and attachments. We ask that this sacred smoke carry that stuff away from us now. And so it is. Let me get this baby out, and I'm going to drum for a few minutes, just as an extra little treat for us on our birthday. I need to make sure this is really out, because they can continue to smoulder. So just take a nice big breath as we prepare to do some drumming. Let's drum to celebrate. Not just celebrate Temple of Balance's 15th birthday, but to celebrate where we're at in our life, what we've been through. You know, our journey. We've had ups and downs in life. We've had good times, we've had not so good times. So let's use our drumming time to really think about celebrating and honouring those great times in our life, and even the things that may have not been so great that we've come out the other side of and seen, okay, I see why that needed to happen, because maybe it needed to push us into a different direction. So I'm going to use this is one of my personal shamanic drums, and I've got a beater. So I'm going to play this for 5 minutes or so and really think about celebration. So what is it about celebration that speaks to you now? What can you celebrate? Now, if you're having a particularly tough time, if things aren't flowing very well for you right now, you've got a lot going on, then sending you lots of love. And maybe think about, instead of celebrating, maybe what you're grateful for. So we've got celebratory energy, which is quite high vibrating, I guess. But if we're feeling at quite a distance with where we're at now and that celebratory energy, we might not really feel it. And in fact, it might have a opposite effect where we kind of maybe get a bit sadder about where we are now. So to take it a step back, if that's what you need, maybe think about what you're grateful for. So think about things like, well, I'm alive today. I woke up today, and I've got to be grateful for that. Maybe you've got a roof over your head. You've got food to eat. You can be grateful for that. Maybe you're feeling a little better from this video and connecting here. Maybe you can be grateful for that. So think about what you can be grateful for. Or if you're already feeling grateful, take it to the next level and think about what can you celebrate? What can you feel joy and upliftment within your heart and your mind and celebrate as being something you're grateful for and something that uplifts you? So I'll leave it to you to receive what you need. And if you're new to listening to the drum, there's nothing you can do wrong. Just at the very least, just listen. Let the drum hold you and support you. Let it help build your gratitude and build your celebratory intention. So I'm going to drum, and I trust you enjoy it. So nice big breath. Oh, we've got bees buzzing. It's so beautiful. What a beautiful moment to be here. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for your birthday wishes. And thank you so much for your support. Your support now, your support in the past. It really has been... It's been what's kept Temple of Balance going. And through your support, I'm able to continue to share and continue to create and to create this space the way that feels right for me, the way I'd imagine that I would like to feel if someone was creating a safe space for me. So I always have your best interests at heart. I'm always doing what I feel would be helpful and would be supportive. I'm always doing it as honestly and openly as I can. And yeah, I'm just feeling really grateful. I'm feeling really grateful for this journey, you know, this 15 years. It's like almost a third child for me. Or is it? Well, it is like I gave birth to a third child in some ways, but it's different. It's become my way of life. And yeah, just feeling so, so grateful. So thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. Keep an eye out on my Facebook page for this giveaway, valid for 1 week from the 25th of February 2020. If you want to go into the draw to receive that, then please have a look and, you know, participate if you want to. And if you want to learn more about the work I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Your support and ongoing support is essential. But I also understand that, you know, we go through tough times. Sometimes people can't afford to support now, and sometimes people just, their time has come to leave. So, you know, I don't have expectations on the support, but I am saying that I do need support, especially we check it month to month to make sure we are meeting our minimum requirements. So if you would love to support my work, even just a one-off, you know, grab yourself a deck of cards, perhaps, or a book, or join my Pillar of Light family if you want to take your connection with Temple of Balance to the next level. You can stay for a month, you can stay for 6 months, as long as you want to. But I don't expect you to stay. In fact, I love to see birds flying from and moving out from the nest and into their own experiences. I don't want you to rely on Temple of Balance. So, you know, the pure nature of my intention here is not a very good business plan, you know, for the long term. So, you know, your support while you're here is really essential. And then as you leave, that support will leave, and hopefully we'll have some new people that come in and want to spend time in the nest who will also then support my work so it can continue to continue. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Keep your eye out for more videos this week. We've got Wednesday check-in tomorrow, or coming in on Wednesday if you're watching this later than Tuesday. I've got my Friday thoughts coming too, and my weekly card reading videos on Mondays. So keep an eye out, and thank you so much for connecting. Thanks for being a part of Temple of Balance. Sending you loads of love from my heart to yours.